I've been working on this video for months, learning how to film, how to edit, how to tell a story. Along the way, I've had to start over more times than I can count. I've lost the whole project and even some of my confidence, but each time I began again, and I learned something from all of it. Somewhere in that process, I realized there is a story here, and maybe that real story is learning not to give up, to see things with new eyes, to begin again, and to build it better than before. Welcome to Matilda's cottage. Before we get started on today's project, I want to take a quick trip back to 2019, the year we bought this old house. This is what the kitchen and the dining room looked like before any renovations were done, and as you can see, it was quite the disaster. The house was built in 1900 or potentially even earlier. At some point, they had added various kinds of flooring to the room, including carpeting. For some reason, there was one area that the countertops barely came up to just mid-thigh on me, and a sink was floating in the middle of the room with the stove just sort of hanging out over there in the corner. So we decided to move things around. We relocated the sink and the stove. I wanted the sink centered under the one window in the room so I could look out at what would become our beautiful backyard in the future. I wanted the stove moved over to the other wall where it would allow us to have plenty of countertop space to the right. The funniest part, there was this one countertop in the dining room that was literally attached to the wall and to a metal filing cabinet. We had already removed it by the time this video was taken, but believe me, it was a sight to see. There are still quite a few projects I'd like to tackle in this kitchen, and honestly throughout the whole house. But this is where we're going to start, right here, with this old buffet that's about to become my new kitchen island. It all started when I was getting ready to paint and reorganize my sunroom, which is also my little office and my art studio. This buffet had been holding my art supplies for years, but it was in the way, so into the kitchen it went, just temporarily, or so I thought. Within a day, everyone was using it, setting their cups there, making sandwiches, and I even found myself standing there each morning making my cup of tea. And that's when it hit me. This piece was the perfect height for an island. It's sturdy, solid wood, and in great shape overall. The back isn't finished though, so it'll need some trim and a few details to make it look built in. I also want to repaint it, and I do have a few colors in mind, but we'll get to that later. First, we're going to start with the countertop. The top has some damage and it's only about 17 inches deep. I want to extend it closer to 2 feet so it has a bit of overhang and adds usable counter space. I'm not planning to add bar stools, though that would work perfectly if I wanted to. So, here is how it all played out. At Home Depot, we got a 2x12x12 pine, not even select pine, it was just a standard board, and we brought it home, and I knew that I wanted to make this a little bit more rustic looking. In fact, I probably wanted it even more rustic than it ends up turning out, but I'm still very happy. I'm getting ahead of myself. So what we did was we cut the board in half right there at Home Depot. We had them do that for us so we could transport it home, 2 6-foot boards. When we got them home, my husband got out his table saw and he ripped them down so that on just one edge so that we could butt them up really well together. And then because of the size of my countertop, I wanted a 6-foot countertop. So from there, I had him actually cut the boards down to 44 inches each. The reason that I'm doing this is because I want to put breadboards, I believe that's what they're called, on the ends to make it look a little bit more rustic. I am going to attach all of that with glue and pocket holes. Then I brought it inside, and actually this is the first time I've ever worked with pocket holes, and I found it incredibly easy. I could not believe how easy. I've been doing woodworking for a really long time, and I have never worked with my pocket hole jig, which I've actually had for a few years, and I am just thrilled with it. Now I just want to go ahead and build all kinds of stuff. In fact, I might be doing that. Okay, so this is where things, well, got interesting. Of course, I sanded it down a little bit. I put in some wood filler into some of the holes because this is a rustic piece of pine, and I felt like it looked a little too many holes and things for food to get stuck in, so I put wood filler in there. That created my first problem. I don't care how many times they tell you that wood filler is going to be stainable, it never is. I've come to the conclusion it never is. Then I stained. I don't know what is going on in my head. I like light wood, and for some reason, anytime I've ever picked any stain ever, it's always been dark wood stain. It looks light to me in the store. I get it home, it is not what I'm looking for. So I used this rustic brown, I think it might have been by Minwax stain, and I stained the boards. The very first problem I noticed is it did not stain evenly at all, and I found out later that pine is not something that stains very easily, and you should definitely use a pre-stain conditioner. After that, I thought I'll just put a wash on it. So that's what I did. I put a wash on top of the stain to try and help even it out. And it did work. And then I went ahead and sealed it all in. And I was fairly satisfied with it. I really wasn't satisfied with it. I did not like the splotchiness. I did not like the amber tones that were coming out. I did not like how it competed with my darker floors. I didn't like it. And you know, in some instances, in some cases, it could have been a perfect solution, a perfect looking floor, but it just didn't work for me. And so I had the plan to start over from scratch. And I was gonna go get select pine this time. I thought I'll get rid of all the knots, I'll get rid of all the issues. So I go to the store, I'm looking at it. First of all, they don't sell it in 2-inch thick boards like I wanted. They only come in 1-inch thick boards, which are really not even really 2 inches and not really even 1 inch. In today's market, they don't give you the full thickness of the board. They also did not have 12-foot boards. I would have had to have bought 2 probably 6-foot boards in order to put them together, which would have been fine, but the cost probably would have came out to about $75 just to start over and not get exactly the look I was going for. My husband was right, and he said, just sand it down. So that's what I did. I took it outside. It had already been polyurethaned and everything. I took it outside on a beautiful sunny day and sanded it all away. And you know what? The more I sanded, the more I realized it was the right decision. I actually got a little help online to find out what kind of stain I actually wanted. Weathered oak was the right one, but I knew that everyone uses that at Early American. I didn't know if I was gonna want that, and I don't live very close to a Home Depot, so I decided I better just get it. I got that one too. It said that I could mix them 50-50 or whatever, so here's how I started. Pre-stain wood conditioner. I put that on first. I will say right now, it made a big difference. Then I went ahead and put on the weathered oak. So I mixed in 50% of early American and absolutely thrilled. So here's the reveal. This is only part one of this island. I have not screwed down the island to my countertop yet, which I'm going to screw from underneath, from the inside the drawer area. And next week, I am going to begin to finish the back with some trim. First of all, the old countertop that you can see, I want that to disappear. And then I have to choose a color for paint. And I have some color. These are just preliminary ideas, but I really like this Marblehead Gold, which I think would look really pretty with the green walls. Edgecomb Gray, which I think could be pretty. I don't know, it could also be boring. And then I have this, oh, this is October Mist, which was Benjamin Moore's Color of the Year. I like the colors on this swatch, which is Spanish Olive, which is the darkest color on this swatch. I was thinking about going with one of the lighter colors up here to have the green hue, but without being in your face green. I don't know. If you're gonna ask me today what color I'm leaning towards, it's the, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. So why don't you go ahead and vote down below. Do you like the Marblehead Gold? Do you like the Edgecomb Gray? Or do you like one of these green swatches? Either the Spanish Olive swatch or the October Mist swatch as potentials. Or give me the color that you would recommend. And I also want to give you a quick sneak peek of the hardware that we're using, and these are from Amazon, and I will link them below because they're absolutely beautiful. This is part one of this little kitchen makeover, and next week we're going to jump into part two, and that's when I'll show you how we're going to finish this piece so it becomes a true kitchen island instead of just a buffet. We'll finish the back, add trim, choose a paint color, install the hardware, attach the new top, the whole thing. So I'm really excited to see how it all comes together. And if you enjoyed spending time with me today, please like and subscribe so I can bring you cozy creative projects just like this. And thanks for being here. It means a lot.